Hey there guys, welcome to Dinos Vault once again. Today I am here at the Indian Scout 60 launch here in Hyderabad. Now Indian Motorcycle Company is the oldest American motorcycle manufacturer with its origin dating back to as early as 1901, which happens to be even before the iconic American motorcycle company Harley Davidson being founded, which eventually happened in 1903. Now Indian Motorcycles was originally founded by Mr. George Hendy and was initially known as Hendy Manufacturing Company. The company was already manufacturing bicycles since 1897, but it was Mr. Oscar Headstrom who joined hands with Mr. Hendy, both having been former bicycle racers, and together they designed, built and tested a prototype, a motorcycle with 1.75 bhp single cylinder engine, and the bike however was sold to public since 1903. That very same year, Mr. Headstrom, being a former racer, went ahead and set the world motorcycle speed record of 56 miles per hour with the very same bike. From then on, Indian Motorcycles went on to make its presence felt on the world stage. The Indian factory team took the first three places in 1911 Isle of Man TT. Indian was also the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world during the 1910s. Long story short, under the Indian brand, the Scout 2 enjoys a rich heritage of its own. It was built from 1920 through 1949 and was among the best-selling models for Indian. After a really long hiatus, Indian Motorcycles resurfaced in 1999 and was owned by different companies before being finally acquired by Polaris Industries in 2011. The Scout was relaunched in 2015 with all the modern elements, and it came powered by a 1133cc engine that put out a max power of 100 horsepower and a max torque of 97.7 Newton meters. This was Indian's first ever liquid-cooled motorcycle because the rest of the lineup, excluding the now launched Scout 60, are all still air-cooled or oil-cooled. The Scout immediately went on to win the prestigious Motorcycle of the Year award from motorcycle.com, which is one of the oldest and most followed sites by bikers from all around the world. To begin with, I want to give you guys a brief overview of each model's showcase today, and then we'll go on to the actual launch event. First, of course, we have the Indian Scout. I believe this is the 2016 Indian Scout, and it now comes with dual tone color options, but I personally prefer it in solid colors. Just look at it, guys. It looks absolutely stunning, classy, modern and charming all at the same time. It derives its main design inspiration from the Scout of the 1920s. The cast aluminium frame too is inspired by the geometry of the original Scout. As I mentioned before, we get a 1133cc mill in a 60-degree V-twin setup. This puts out a max power of 100 horsepower and a peak torque of 97.7 Newton meters. This comes mated to a 6-speed gearbox. Ground clearance is 135 mm, seat height is just 635 mm, and fuel tank capacity is 12.5 liters. Though it looks cute and sporty, it is by all means heavy, weighing in at 254 kgs wet. Now, though I love the matte silver smoke color, my jaw literally hit the ground when I saw the glossy thunder black color. I mean, the fit and finish and the quality of paint is undeniably best in class. It just looks a class apart in the thunder black avatar. Price ex-showroom Hyderabad for the Indian Scout is around rupees 14 lakhs. Next, we have the Chief Dark Horse, which looks haunting like an angel of death. I don't think anyone else could have ever pulled off such an amazing blend of classic and new age design philosophy. It looks vintage, yet it looks vicious. It comes dressed in royal attire, yet has that radical feel to it that cannot be expressed in mere words. The matte black finish is so freaking amazing that you need to witness it for yourself firsthand, and I'm pretty damn sure you won't take your eyes off of it anytime soon. The Dark Horse comes powered by the Thunderstroke 111 engine, an 1811cc engine which derives inspiration from the 1940s model. Max power output is not disclosed, but it puts out a staggering peak torque of 161.6 Newton meters. This comes mated to a 6-speed gearbox as well. Ex-showroom price here in Hyderabad for the Dark Horse is rupees 23.4 lakhs. Then we have the Chief Classic, which is more or less a chrome version of the Dark Horse. Engine specs wise, everything is similar to that of the Dark Horse, except that the exterior design is more conservative and old school type as opposed to the modern touch and a slightly darker theme adopted by the Dark Horse. The bike, however, looks like a timeless beauty. Ex-showroom price of the Chief Classic is rupees 24.42 lakhs here in Hyderabad. Next, of course, we have the Chief Vintage, which is an accessorized version of the Chief Classic. We get the vintage styled quick release saddlebags on either side. Then we also get a huge quick release windshield that offers superior wind and weather protection. With the quick release mechanism, the windshield can be installed or removed in less than a minute, which is amazing. The powertrain is the same as that of the Dark Horse, and so are the power and torque figures. With the added weight of the accessories, the bike weighs 32 kgs more than the Dark Horse. Now, price showroom Hyderabad for this bike for the single tone variant is 30.2 lakhs, and for the dual tone variant it is 30.5 lakhs. Finally, we also had the majestic and magnificent Roadmaster on display. This again is a completely accessorized and fully loaded version of the Chief Classic. Now, before I talk further about this bike, please take a listen to the kind of music it plays. Now, what you just heard was played using the speakers on board the bike. We get an integrated 200-watt audio system that delivers premium quality sound from the fairing as well as the trunk speakers. Smartphone and other audio sources can be connected via Bluetooth or cable. We get nearly 144 liters of storage space all around. We get heated grips, heated seats, adjustable passenger floorboards, power adjustable windshield, and loads of other features. Price ex-showroom Hyderabad for the Roadmaster single tone variant is 37.1 lakhs, and for the dual tone variant it is 38.7 lakhs. Now, all these bikes come with belt drive mechanism rather than chain drive. The advantages that a belt drive enjoys over a chain drive is that it involves lesser maintenance cost, it lasts longer, it is cleaner because it doesn't require frequent lubrication, and it also offers a smoother ride, which is what we look for in cruiser motorcycles. Now, the launch party started and people started arriving and admiring the models on display. The proceedings were kick-started by the host welcoming Mr. Pankaj Dubey, the managing director of Polaris India, who spoke about their journey so far here in the Indian market and their plans for the future. Then we had Mr. Yashwant Jabak, chairman of the Mahavir Group, who shared how excited he was about this new launch. Finally, we had Vikas, one of the directors of the Mahavir Group, who spoke about being really privileged to be associated with such a prestigious brand as Indian Motorcycles. Then it was time to unveil the youngest member of the Indian family, the new Scout 60. The Scout 60 looks almost identical to the regular Scout. However, the differences between the two are as follows. First of all, we get an all-new liquid-cooled 60-degree V-twin DOHC 983cc engine that puts out a max power of 78 HP and a max torque of 88.8 Newton meters. The regular Scout, as I mentioned earlier, comes with a 1133cc engine that puts out a max power of 100 HP and max torque of 97.7 Newton meters. Also, the regular Scout comes with a 6-speed gearbox, whereas the Scout 60 comes with a 5-speed gearbox. Design-wise, most of the design elements like the headlamp, handlebar, the engine parts, seats, etc. are blacked out for the Scout 60 to give it a more modern and new-age look overall. Seat height is 643 mm for the Scout 60, whereas it is 635 mm for the Scout. Tires are the same for both the bikes. We get 16-inch wheels with a 130/90 front tire and a 150/80 rear tire. Brakes and suspension remain the same for both the bikes as well. We get a single 298 mm floating disc with 2 piston calipers up front and a single 298 mm floating disc with a single piston caliper at the back. Suspension wise, we get chunky 41 mm front forks with 120 mm of travel. At the back, we get dual shocks with 76 mm of travel. Wheelbase remains the same for both the bikes at 1562 mm. Even the dimensions are identical for both the bikes. The Scout 60's lightweight aluminium chassis promises sporty and responsive handling. The blacked out cast aluminium wheels look stunning. The solid mounted engine increases stiffness and ensures smooth and predictable handling at all speeds. This also minimizes the vibrations on the bike, if any. The low seat height along with the bike's lowered center of gravity provides for easy maneuverability and exceptional handling at high speeds as well as low speeds. The Scout 60 also features the rigid triangle design that holds true to the authentic Scout of the 1920s. Other noteworthy specs include a ground clearance of 135 mm, which means we need to be really careful with the speed breakers on our roads. Seat height is just 643 mm, which means shorter riders can hop on joyously, but at the same time you need to be of average height to reach for the forward set gear and brake levers. Fuel tank capacity is just 12.5 liters, which I believe should have been more for a cruiser. At least it is not as bad as the 7.9 liter tank of the Harley Davidson 48. Price ex-showroom Hyderabad for the Scout 60 is rupees 12.2 1.21 lakhs. So that's pretty much it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.